Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this cotton candy clown look right here for Halloween. To start, I'm going to go in with the P. Louise primer base in shade Rumor 2, and I'm just going to dot that on my eyelids and tap that in with a concealer brush to make an even base for the eyeshadow that I'm going to be going in with. For today's look, I'm going to be using the Blue Moon eyeshadow palette by ColourPop, and I'm going to start with the shade Moonlight in my inner crease. It's a nice light blue that I'm just going to blend right in with windshield wiper motions. The next shade that I'll be using is Starry Eyed, and it's a pretty similar shade to the one we just used, but it's a little bit more pigmented, and I'm just using the same windshield wiper motions as before. And then I'm following that up with the shade Fine China, and I'm putting this directly on the outside corner of my eye to bring some more depth to the eyeshadow look, because I really want a dramatic pop of color. And I take a fluffy brush and I just blend that all out. The next shade is Clued In. It's a really pretty dark blue that I'm using on a precise blender brush, and I'm putting that in the same spot as I put the last eyeshadow, and I'm doing this just so I can bring some more depth and dimension, as well as giving the eyeshadow a bit of a smoky look. And then I take a nice fluffy blender brush and I just blend that all out together. And for my eyelid, I went in with the shade Tide Pool, which is this really pretty blue shimmer shadow, and I just put that on my finger and I blended that right onto my lid. And then I went back in with the shade Clued In just to bring back that depth and dimension. And then I followed that up with my highlighter from Ofra Cosmetics. Then I'm taking the Kat Von D tattoo liner and making a really thin line across my lashes. Moving on to the other eye, I went in with the Norvina palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I start with the shade Love, which is a really pretty salmon pink color that I used as a transition shade, and I just took that on a big fluffy blender brush and I put that right on in my crease. Next, I went in with the Juvia's Place Warrior 3 eyeshadow palette, and I just took the hot pink shade and I put that right in my crease in the same spot that I just put the shade from the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm just blending it out to have more color. And I followed that with the red shade from the palette, and I put that on the outer corner of my eye just to give the look a little bit more depth and dimension. I went in with the shade Wild Child on my lid, just like I did with the shimmer shade from the Blue Moon palette. I put this on my finger because it gives the best color payoff and shine, and then I went back in with the red shade from the Juvia's Place palette just to deepen the outer corner again. And then I took my highlighter from Ofra Cosmetics and I highlighted my brow bone and the inner corner. And I don't know what this is. I think this is me posing for a thumbnail. Yeah. And then I took my tattoo liner from Kat Von D and I did the same thin line across my eyelashes, so when we put my falsies on, they will blend in with my eye seamlessly. Moving on to the face, I'm going in with the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, and I'm just putting a pump or two on my hands and rubbing that in to my face. I know it makes me look like a ghost, but whatever, it's a good primer. I go on with the Pure Cosmetics 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Full Coverage Foundation, and I just like to put a pump or two on my beauty blender and blend it all out onto my face. It's a very full coverage foundation, as you can see. It takes a little while to blend out, but I love the way that it looks on my skin. I forgot to show it, but the concealer that I am using is the Laura Mercier Flawless Concealer in shade 1.5W. And you don't have to draw it in triangles like this. I was filming a TikTok, so I did it for the aesthetics. And for contour, I went in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in shade Chestnut, and I just put it in the hollows of my cheeks and a little bit around my forehead. Again, I was doing this mainly for TikTok purposes, so you don't exactly have to do it like this. I also forgot to show me blending all that out, so here's me pretending to blend it all in. Woohoo! To warm up my face a little bit, I'm going to be using the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit Cosmetics. It's one of my favorite bronzers of all time, and I'm just taking that on a small bronzer brush, I guess. Next, I'm using the Mally Hot Pink Blush, and I'm putting that on the apples of my cheeks because I really wanted to show that I had some flushed cheeks for this clown look. You know, you gotta have rosy cheeks if you're gonna be a clown, so. To finish off the eyes, I'm taking a bullet brush with all of the shades that I used on the top of my lid, and I'm just blending them underneath my eye now. And same goes for the other eye with the blue shadows that I used on the top of my lid. I'm now blending them onto my lower. For falsies, I went in with the Jewel Lashes by Celeste Los Angeles, and I love them. They're just super dramatic. Onto the clown part, I'm going to be going in with the CC Beauty face paints, and I'm taking that on a really thin liner brush, and I'm going in with the hot pink shade from the face paint palette first, and I'm just drawing a, I want to say like a line, but not really a straight line, you know, like a clown line. Honestly, there's so many ways you can draw clown eyes, but this is the way that I did it. I did a little bit on the bottom, and then I'm just taking like a swoop line on the top of my brow. Once you're happy with the outline of your clown eyes, then you just take that face paint and you fill it right on in. By the way, I got these face paints on Amazon, so they're not the best quality, but they work for now. I'm in the market for better face paints, so if you have any recommendations, please let me know in the comment section. I would really appreciate it. For the other eye, I went in with that light blue shade from the face paint palette, and I did almost the exact same thing, drawing a clown line or clown eye, as I put it, right down the bottom of my eye and above my eyebrow. I want to mention that it's completely okay if your clown eyes or lines are not exactly the same. Mine were a little bit different on each eye, and that's because I'm still practicing on FX makeup and crazy makeup like this, but it's okay if they're not exactly perfect. Don't worry. To make the clown look a little bit creepy, I decided to go in with that black shade from the face paint palette and take it on a thin liner brush and just basically wing out my smile or my lips to give this like creepy smile effect, if you know what I mean. Once I was happy with the smile lines, I went in with a black liner, a cream liner, and just outlined my lips to bring cohesiveness. I then filled in half my lips with that pink face paint shade that I had used to make the clown eyes or lines, whatever you call them, on my lips, and because it's cream, it blended pretty easily on my lip. For the other half of my lips, I took the light blue shade that I used on the blue side of my face and put it on my lips and blended that all together. And I should have thought about this before, but once I put that on my lips, both of those colors, and I smushed my lips together, it kind of made a weird purple line in between, but you know, whatever. And to spice up the look even more and bring some glam to the clown look, I decided to put some colorful gems on the tips of the clown eyes. To bring the look together even more, I decided to use this wig that I had in my closet that I've never used before. So I just put my hair up in a low bun, and I put this makeshift bald cap on my head just to hold all of my hair back best I could. And then I put the wig on, and it's really pretty color. It was fairly cheap. I got it on Amazon for like $15, I think. The only thing I don't like about it is the bangs, and the bangs kind of covered the top half of the clown eyes, but whatever, I think it looks cute. To complete the clown look, I decided to do a little button clown nose, and I used the same hot pink face paint from before, and I just drew a little circle on my nose and filled that in, and then I took the blue shade and just made a little highlight mark. And after the nose is done, that completes this Halloween look. I hope you guys really like it, and maybe you'll do this for Halloween. Happy October!